Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be planning for the first week in February. I'm really excited to start with the February monthly kits and the weekly kits because there's just so many studying options out there. This week I'm going to be using this weekly kit called Love Spell by PansysPrints, and I'll leave a little link down below so that you can just grab it if you're interested. This is a printable kit, but I am using it in my digital planner, and I just like to start by placing the stuff that I am 100% sure where I'm gonna be putting, and that is my washes. I don't like to use the bottom part for any notes or anything like that, and my date covers. So I like to resize them, as you can see, all together. It just makes things a little bit easier for me, and then I'm just placing them. I do like to change my Monday starts. I like to start my weeks on Sunday instead because it makes me have a little bit more control over my week if I start planning on Sundays and I plan it as my first week, just trying to get everything together, and then going into Monday with a little bit of a plan. So I cropped my my dates, my numbers, and then I like to place all my full boxes. This is a double box, the one that I just put in my notes bar, but I just thought I had to use that because it's actually really gorgeous little drawing. So I placed that at the bottom of my notes, and then I decided to start placing my full boxes. As you can see, I do have to stretch them a little bit. I think that I should be actually using kits for the Happy Planner instead. These are for the Erin Conrad. These are supposed to be printable for the Erin Conrad, but as you can see, they don't fit quite right. This is the Vertical Planet from Ellies template, and I do really love this planner. But again, I think I just need to get the Happy Planner version of the kits, which is okay because with digital planning, it's just really easy to just make everything work, since you can just stretch or crop or do however you want. So after placing all of these full box stickers, I decided to use these first two columns of every day to put my full boxes, which is just decorating a little bit, and then my to-do list. I like to have a small place in my weeks to have just more, like, the most important things that I have to do that day. And then if the day gets really hectic, or if I know it's gonna be crazy and my to-do list is gonna be really long, I can just make a daily page. But I do like to have a little bit of like a priority of the stuff that is gonna go on that day. So I'm using these glitter headers on top of the full boxes just to decorate a little bit, and I'm trying to do like a gradient sort of look. So I started on my Sunday with this really pretty sort of gray, really light gray color, and then I put the lightest pink, and then the middle pink, and then the really deep dark pink to sort of have that gradient color. And then I am placing my to-do headers for my to-do list, and I'm just doing the exact same thing. I am placing the gray, so the lightest color, and I'm going that way to the darkest to match that glitter headers that I placed before on top of the full boxes. And then after that, on the bottom boxes, what I like to do for this week is to put my today little headers as well in the same range of color. And at that bottom box, I really like to just have the most important things for that day. So just mark things that I know that I need to make time for, or that I need to be on a specific place at that moment. So sometimes these things are really, you already know that you have a class that day, you already know that you have to do laundry that day. But sometimes we start making our to-do list, and then we make a crazy long to-do list, and we totally forget and it gets so unreachable to have like a million things for that day if you don't put like number one priority things first. Make your schedule around those things and then say, okay, how much time do I have left to complete my to-do list? And then you start going into your to-do list, sort of being a little bit more realistic of the time that you actually have. So I really love just having this weekly spread as just a glance, a really quick glance with my priorities and my absolutely have to do today things. So that's what these little checklists are for. And again, I'm having to stretch those, and it's really weird. This kit actually, the check boxes, as you can see, have 7 little hearts. So 7 little to-do lists that you can place there. Most of them just have 5, which I really like because I like to have my top 5 things for every single day. But this week, I guess I'll have to be a little bit more productive and just use 7 really important things that I have to do. This weekly kit also, the boxes are different. Normally they're just the exact same, just like copy paste, but these actually have like little hearts that you see on the background. They're different, and so some of the boxes are lighter, or they look a little bit lighter than others. So I just decided to crop them all so that I will be able to use them all and not having them look exactly the same. It looks a little bit different, and it does add a little bit of dimension. So now I'm moving on into my sidebar or my little notes bar, and I'm placing a couple of trackers because I do want to be tracking the days that I read and the days that I work on my book journal, which I've been really excited about. Just like keeping track of everything that I'm reading makes things a little bit easier for me. It makes me want to read more, because it's like keeping myself accountable for what I'm doing with my extra spare time, and I think reading is a really great way to use that. So I also really like to write down my meals, especially because I eat when I'm at my school doing my social service, and sometimes I just forget. It would be like 4 or 5 and I wouldn't have lunch yet. So I need to get into that. I really need to start at least setting up like an alarm every single day and just remembering, and then being like, okay, if I keep myself a little bit more accountable and just have to write at the end of the day in my planner, I'm gonna be um I'm gonna be doing it. So here, as you can see in the last little boxes that I have for days, I'm placing the stuff that I know I absolutely need to be doing, and just the stuff that sort of marks my day. So, for example, the days that I have a class, I know I have to go to school and then I have to work on my social service. So, I know it's going to be a full day of just not being home. So, if I want to do other stuff that are just like home related things, I need to schedule those on another day. So, that's what those little half boxes are with little books. I think that's like a crystal ball on top. So I'm just using that for my school days. I'm marking my planning time because I know that every Saturday I have to plan for the next week. And on Sunday, just little special things that I also want to do with my extra time. So I need to print and cut some stickers for my actual paper planner and things like that. I do want to get my nails done. So all of the things that you want to do is just a great place to put in like an overlay and overview of your week. It's just really helpful for me to just have everything that I want to do, that it's like really important to me, and then I can start making my to-do list accordingly. And honestly, this kit just came with so many deco stickers that look really cool. So I just decided to place them all over the spread because they look really fun to just play with. I was actually binge watching Sabrina, and this kit was just absolutely perfect for that. it was perfect between me binge watching Sabrina and February getting started. So I just love this kit because of that. So I am just decorating a little bit because I didn't want it not to use all of these little drawings that this came with. And as I'm decorating, I like to think ahead for the week and see other functional things that I can place and all of the stuff that I want to do. So I know that on Sundays I get to wake up a little bit later because I don't have to work in the morning. So I do like to mark that to make sure that I am not counting time in the morning. Like, I know I won't have time in the morning to do my reading or my yoga and all of that. So I know that I need to schedule that maybe for the evening or maybe later on that day. So I like to mark that and be able to see that, I won't be able to have like a huge to-do list in the afternoon because I do like to have that time for myself. So maybe my nails, I can do them at night as well. All of that really helps to just bring the reality of your day and just make sure that you are actually completing your to-do list and not just having a really big overwhelming amount of stuff that you want to do. So I'm just writing when I have my classes to make sure that I'm not going to miss anything. And also I do enroll on a really cool course that I'm just going to be taking for like a week and a half. So I definitely want to mark that to make sure that I know I have a little bit of extra load for school starting on Thursday, I believe. So I'm just using my little pen to mark all the stuff that I want to do. So in my notes, my trackers, and I'm using more half boxes to mark other things that I know um, I need to do those days. And if I don't do those days, then I'm not gonna be having any more time to do that. So I like to mark my extra work because you have to do your regular work, and then if you want to do extra things that just could potentially become an extra work, or just to have a little bit extra cash, definitely marking those, definitely gonna make time for that. And the cool thing about digital planning as well is, as you can see, you can just crop the stickers however you want. So that's not going to be a payday for me, but I do want to make a little budget that day. So I just cropped a little bag of money to use for that. So you don't have to just use them for the purpose that they were made of. You can definitely tweak them and use them the way that you want to. So I'm just finishing up. I know that I have to clean once a week, so I'm just making sure that wherever I see the space where I can do that, I'm just putting that right there. And that's basically it. My like weekly overview is pretty much done, and then as the days goes on, I can just do my to-do list. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.